This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the Tattooed Traveler YouTube channel. Join award-winning TV host and travel expert Todd Newton as he takes you coast to coast and around the globe to destinations like Paris, Rome, Bangkok, Hollywood, Mexico, New York, and so many more. Experience all the world has to offer by visiting thetattooedtraveler.com or subscribe on YouTube at The Tattooed Traveler.
Welcome to the host with the most, Toddcast. And now, direct from the Razzle Dazzle Studios, here's the tan, tattooed connoisseur of conversation, Todd Newton.
Perfect timing for this book. I wanted to tell Maria about this, and while we're talking about the book, I'll just share it with everyone. Conan O'Brien has an assistant named Sina Movzeshian, I guess is how you pronounce it, and she's worked for him for 13 years now, and apparently these two are just two peas in a pod. I guess she was an intern at NBC for a long time, back when his show was at NBC, and she just kind of kept getting promoted through the ranks. And when he took over as the host of The Tonight Show for a short minute there, she got bumped up to his executive assistant. And he really took a liking to her. Apparently, she's really witty, really funny, which is exactly what he needs to keep him creative throughout the day.
Yeah.
You know? She has now written a book, and it's already a bestseller. I guess it came out a week or so ago. It's called The World's Worst Assistant.
Oh, my God.
And I'm excited to I'll probably get the audiobook version of it over on Audible. But Conan totally gave her his blessing to write this book. And the reason she wrote it, I saw her on the Today Show or Good Morning America, one of those shows. She says, as an assistant, she really pushes the boundaries in the workplace, and she just feels like people are too confined in the office place. You know, there are so many rules. Everybody's afraid of HR, and everybody's afraid of getting canned and everything. She said, but work needs to be entertaining if you're going to be effective at it. And she realizes she's got this special relationship with Conan, who would be hilarious to work for. I mean, come on. You know, even on a bad day, right? He would be a fun guy to be around, I would think. Or maybe he's a nightmare. I don't know. But Sina, in her book, and again, it's called The World's Worst Assistant, she teaches people how to do things like watch a full-length movie at your desk without your coworkers realizing it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and she'll tell you how to take a nap at work and basically how to do the minimal amount of work possible and still hold on to your job. I think that's hilarious.
I love that.
Yeah. I
guess, used to have one trick.
Yeah, what was your trick?
And it's not as good as all of her things. The throwdown purse.
What's that?
That's when you're in an office. Obviously, nowadays you can be a man with a purse. Anyway, a merce.
Yeah.
You have one that you don't really carry that often or ever like that much, but it's still stylish.
Yeah.
You keep it in your desk drawer. Then when the day comes you want to leave early, you put that purse on the top of your desk with some fake keys.
Oh my!
And then leave, and then make sure you have a friend that'll cut your computer off at the end of the day.
You did.
So everybody will come by and they'll think you're still working, but you're really gone because they keep seeing your purse. So you couldn't have left, right? And your car keys are there. You couldn't have left. You're just in the ladies' room, or you're on a call somewhere, or you're over in somebody's office. It'll work. It'll keep you going for hours.
That's brilliant. And can you get away with that consistently, or do people start to catch on? They're like, wait a minute.
Well, I mean, you can't do it too often.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe once a month, like you could do it.
Maybe that's your Friday deal. Your Friday,
just one Friday that you do that. And then, like I said, you got to have the good friend that'll cover for you, but then you do the same for her.
That is something. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Look at it. My Maria.
You got to have something.
Again, the book is called The World's Worst Assistant. So if you're looking to do the least amount of work and hang on to that gig, you might want to.
Of course, I work here, though.
Let's get back to the talk that will keep you talking. This is the host with the most, Toddcast, with Todd Newton.
But we're just like a day or two away from having to actually head to the airport and stand in the lines. By the way, unless you have Clear or TSA PreCheck, eliminate a lot of the stress by just leaving earlier. Give yourself another 45 minutes and the stress goes away. Don't you agree? It's like,
I would absolutely.
the people that are stressed are the people that did not leave themselves enough time. I mean, that's it. That's what it boils down to. But there's this guy over in Kenya who was trying to save money on his checked baggage. You know, now, unless you fly a lot and you're like a gold member or platinum or whatever, you got to pay like $35 to check your first bag, and the second one's even more expensive.
Which gets me because I'm like, I don't want to go to Europe with somebody with no luggage.
Right. Right.
I want to know that you got something to live for, something to come back for. I want you to have lots of baggage.
Well, I want to know that you got clean undies in there. I mean, I don't want to, but airlines are charging a lot of money. I think Southwest, if you fly Southwest, you still get 2 checked bags free, which is like a real coup. But anyway, this guy over in Kenya, it doesn't say what airline he was flying, but he wanted to save money, or maybe he just didn't have the money to check his bags. So he did something that I've never heard anyone doing. He decided he was going to wear every article of clothing he was taking on his trip onto the plane.
Oh, Lord.
He goes through security, Maria. They stop him. They're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, sir.
Like puffin.
Yeah. Can you imagine? He probably looked like he was wearing a fat suit. But wait till you hear the numbers. And these, I looked at 3 different sources to make sure, because I couldn't believe this. Are you ready for this?
Go.
Security agents counted 70 pieces of clothing on this man.
70?
He was wearing 60 shirts. 60 shirts.
How long are you staying for?
He was wearing 5 pairs of jeans. 5 pairs of jeans. And in his pockets, he had batteries, flash drives, toys that he was taking to someone for Christmas.
Jesus.
So clearly, I mean, those TSA agents, I mean, they're trained to see people coming, you know? I mean, they're looking for more than just what's going through the x-ray machine, I'm sure. I don't know what goes into becoming a TSA officer, but I would imagine they're somewhat alert. They saw this guy coming. Obviously, he set off the metal detector. They had to take him in the back and do a full body search. And I mean, come on. 5 pairs of jeans. God knows how many socks he had on. He's got batteries and toys tucked in these pockets. Do you let that guy
underwear galore?
Do you let that guy fly, or do you just send him back from which he came? You can't let somebody like that fly.
I don't even know what to say about that. I'm just glad they took him back to search him, because you know he'd be the guy in the line where he'd set off the metal detector. They'd say, "Step back, sir." He'd take off one thing,
right,
go through the metal detector again, and keep doing that.
Oh, can you imagine having to sit next to this guy on the plane if they did let him? This is a nightmare. I'll try and post a picture on our Facebook page. It's a crazy world, man.
Thank you for keeping the art of conversation alive. For more Todd, visit toddnewtononline.com. And don't forget to rate and review the show today. The Host with the Most Toddcast is produced by the Host with the Most, LLC. All rights reserved.